Hey LT360 family and people around the world, I'm here with Mr. Tim here, my second video here in this new office, and they've been momentous occasions. I've been very fortunate. Today is another guitar signing day. It was about 2 months overdue, but we finally got Tim to go platinum. Fantastic, signifying that he has reached maintenance phase, which is our recommended body composition ratings for a level of optimal health. And certainly not everybody needs to hit those in order to be at a level of fantastic health for them. And some people go beyond that. But it's just a thing that we can do to celebrate the people that have poured in so much to their own progress and process and taking control of their health. But there's another reason that I wanted to shoot a video with you today, Tim. And you just completed in the past 2 months, last month.
It's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks, so not even quite a month. You completed a marathon.
That's
okay?
right.
That's tough enough.
Right.
But you're a runner. You've done marathons before. This was your 16th?
16th.
16th marathon. Tell us about this marathon in particular, what makes it so difficult.
Okay.
Tell us about last year when you did it, and then we'll go forward from there.
So this race is called the Harpeth Hills Flying Monkey Marathon. The entire race is in Percy Warner Park, which if you're in the Nashville area and you've been to that park, you know it's crazy hilly, and it's one of the toughest road races in the country of the marathon distance, with over 3,500 feet of elevation gain from start to finish, which is like climbing a couple of mountains while running a marathon. So it's an incredibly challenging race. I did this race last year. And I was not healthy. I was also somewhat injured, and ended up having my slowest race ever out of 16, and feeling so awful when I finished that I didn't run again for I think 5 months. So.
Part of that was our instruction. When you came to us, I remember Scott saying that he'd put you on strict directions, not that you were not a runner for 90 days or so, that you were gonna follow this, and you reluctantly agreed.
Right.
I think part of it was your injury forcing your hand.
That's right.
But you very quickly regained your pace when we kind of said, okay, the shackles are off, go forth and run, and you very quickly regained your old pace and then improved upon that. And we were very curious, you and I were very curious as we led up to this, not only about the time of completing the race, but you said something very interesting, and this is what I want to point into, is the recovery time after the race. So tell us a little bit about that.
So the last year when I finished the race, I felt so awful that I didn't even want to eat when it was done. And I didn't eat for about 10 hours after the race, and then the next day I felt like I had the flu. It took me several days just to even feel like a normal person again. This year, I was eating within 15 minutes when the race was done. A little over a week later, I was running again, and my easy runs were at faster pace than they had been prior to the race, which is absurd.
So the training runs that you were taking prior to the race, you were actually doing faster after the marathon, a week after the marathon?
On my easy runs, which, easy runs, you're supposed to run the way you feel. You're not pushing. And the way I felt ended up being faster than what normally it was before the race.
Wow.
So, that's right.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The body has an amazing capacity for healing and recovery. Yeah. And I'm glad to see it's become evident in what you've done, because I've never run a marathon.
Yeah.
We've had several. We've had triathletes. We've had marathoners, half marathoners, things like that. But you're the first one I've ever really been able to delve into. And your last year, tell me about the last year time versus this year time.
So I reduced my time by 25 minutes, so almost a minute per mile.
Yep. That's a sitcom.
Yeah, it's it was. And I moved up. I mean, this is a limited entry race. They have a lottery. They only have about 300 participants. Last year, my finish time was I think it was in the high 80s, and this year it was in the low 30s.
Wonderful.
So I'm never going to win it, but I'm getting, I'm moving up, and but even more than that, just the way I felt. I mean, last year it was get to the second half of the race and just hang on for dear life and just try to stay upright and finish. And this year, I was still attacking at mile 20. I was still hitting the hills hard, and And I mean, I finished the race fast, and apparently when I crossed the finish line, I screamed like a madman because my wife asked me if I was crazy, and I said no, I knew it was a big deal for me.
Awesome.
So there's actually a race picture that the race took of me, and with just this scream, and I mean, I looked crazy, but I felt just elation.
That's amazing.
So it was fun.
And what also interested me when you talking about the elevation change, which makes this one so difficult, it sounded to me like if someone just trained to run fast or even run for endurance, that they would have a real problem with this. You specified that you'd think it was the uphill. You think that'd be tough, slogging like a Stairmaster or something like that.
Right.
But you talked about the downhills.
Yeah, the downhill's tough. Just technically, when you're running downhill, you're actually, instead of trying to make yourself go faster, your body's trying to slow yourself down, and you're actually putting on the brakes with every step.
Yeah.
And that just tears your quads all to pieces. So it makes it where the longer you do that downhill, the more your quads are likely to cramp. And that's a constant fight. Matter of fact, I met a guy from New York that had finished the race about 10 minutes after I did, that he said his quads had cramped.
Okay.
So the downhills take a toll.
So it's not, I mean, this program, if you are lucky enough and willing enough to join us, you will learn that the program is not just about, there's exercise to it, and it's burning fat, it's building lean muscle and hydration. And I think that I hope that was of some benefit to you.
Well, I was worried about, because this is my 16th. Yeah. I had a very defined routine about how I fueled myself, and I was worried about, what's this going to do? I mean, the stuff I'm not eating that I used to eat, and I honestly, I don't know that I've ever felt this good after a race. So, or even, it's hard to say during the race because it's such a different race, but
sure.
But my goodness, I felt great. So it dramatically changed. The way I feel, and not even just the way I feel running, but the way I feel living. Yeah. I just feel better.
Wow.
So,
well, I think one thing that's a good lesson in there is when you're worried about what you used to eat, and you felt like you relied on that for your performance in the race. I think that so many of us who aren't marathoners or whatever, we come to assign this importance to some of our routines. You've got the people and I'm going to pick on some people here. You got the people in the office, don't talk to me till I've had my coffee. That you have to have your coffee in order to function. You don't. Yeah. You want it, and it's fine to want it. It's fine to have those things that you enjoy. But when we assign them more importance than they really deserve, we start to lean on them a little too heavily, and then you run into a situation where, when you're saying, okay, you're going to do without, how am I going to function? And then you dare to do it and go, I'm actually doing better. I think that you didn't tax your body with some of the stuff that may have been weighing you down and gumming up the work.
No doubt.
Fantastic. LT360 provided the education.
Right.
But you had to execute it. Okay, you had a training routine. And all we said is, this is your new training routine for this time.
That's right.
And you executed that with grace, with intensity, with intention, and you reap the results. So
and
this is all you.
A great coach.
I'm trying doing the best I can. I think you've taught me as much about running as I may have taught you about the nutrition.
We've done this together.
Yes, sir. It is a team effort. It's important to have good people on your team. We want you to join our team. We want to get on your team and help coach you to the best possible version of you. That can only happen if you come in and join us. Come to one of our free health and wellness seminars. Check us out first at lt360.com. You'll see more from Mr. Tim. You'll see more about me. And we want to see you out there on the road.